Good morning. So today we will be touching about the nature of strategic management. I'll be using the slides of Fred David and Forrest David, so I won't be changing anything. Okay, we have the objectives. First is to describe the strategic management process, discuss the 3 stages of strategy, the formulation, implementation, and evaluation activities, explain the need for integrating analysis and intuition in strategic management. And fourth is define and give examples of key terms in strategic management. Also, you have to illustrate the comprehensive strategic management model and describe the benefits of engaging in strategic management. You can also explain why some firms do not do strategic planning, describing the pitfalls in actually doing strategic planning, discuss the connection between business and military strategy. So here first we will define strategic management. So it's defined as the art and science of formulating, implementing, and evaluating cross-functional decisions that enable an organization to achieve its objectives. So it's both an art and a science, no? So there's a system here that is being used, systematic arrangement of knowledge based on facts and principles. So that's science, no? And art, there's beauty, no? There is what you call your own ways of saying things, no? And that is strategic management. Decisions is all about cross-functional decisions, no? And defining strategic management is used synonymously with term strategic planning. So when we say strategic planning or strategic management, no, is used to refer to strategy formulation, implementation, and evaluation. And with strategic formulation, it's only engaged into strategy formulation. So dun lang siya na when you say planning, there's formulation. But when we say management, there's what you call the formulation, implementation, and evaluation. No? So we have the PLOC, remember the management, no? Starts with the planning, leading, organizing, controlling, and staffing. So all of those things are also embedded in strategic management. A strategic plan is a company's game plan. So when you do basketball or any game, there's a game plan. What's the rules? No? How is it going to be? So it's also with strategic management. A strategic plan results from tough managerial choices among numerous good alternatives, and it signals commitment to specific markets, policies, procedures, and operations. Okay, here's the stages of strategic planning or strategic management. First is the strategy formulation. Then you go with strategy implementation and evaluation, strategy evaluation. So here under strategy formulation, we go for developing a vision and mission. So in our succeeding chapters, we will take part in doing or evaluating the vision and mission of a company, no? And identifying an organization's external opportunities and threats. Masaya to, no? And determining internal strengths and weaknesses. Of course, establishing long-term objectives, no? And generating alternative strategies, choosing particular strategies also to pursue. So when you say strategy formulation decisions, what new businesses to enter, no? Current businesses that are, when you say taking its peak, no? New businesses, yung patok sa masa, okay? What businesses to abandon? Sasara na ba yan? Divest, something like that, no? Whether to expand operations or diversify. So going to have a franchise, no? Expand, get the conglomerate. Whether to enter international markets. So import-export or conglomerate. Okay, so whether to merge or form a joint venture. Okay, join-join na lang. Or dahil malulugi na yung isa, merge na lang. No? How to avoid a hostile takeover. So takeover also would be a strategy. And the strategy implementation requires a firm to establish annual objectives, devise policies, motivate employees, and allocate resources so that formulated strategies can be executed. And often called the action stage, itong strategy implementation. No? So when doing the STRAMA, ito talaga yung pinaka, doing the annual objective. So usually that ginagawa yan minsan, or in most companies, no, there are two, what you call this, annual objectives. Ginagawa yung kanilang before the start of the year and year end, no, ginagawa yan. So they do strategic planning, no, but usually this is end of the year, ginagawa yan. So lahat na pinapag-usapan yan kung anong gagawin sa mga tao, sa inyong mga sa businesses, no, sa stakeholders. So lahat yan sila pinag-uusapan doon. And strategy evaluation, determining which strategies are not working well. So if you remember the PDCA cycle in TQM, no? Plan, do, check, and act. So they are looking at if you plan, you check whether all these strategies are working well, and you will do something about it, no? And determining, or we have 3 fundamental activities: reviewing external and internal factors that are the basis for current strategies, and measuring performance and taking corrective actions, no? So ito palang fundamental activities, no? As you can see, the SWOT is really will tell you what strategies really are going to be, no? And it's trash in, trash out, no? Kung mali ang ipasok mong SWOT analysis in your external and internal factors, so magiging mali din yung magiging strategies na magpo-formulate mo. Okay, so here we have the key terms in strategic management. We have competitive advantage. So when you say competitive advantage, any activity a firm does especially well compared to activities done by rival firms, or any resource a firm possesses that rival firms desire. Anong meron ka na wala yung ibang company? You cannot say a competitive advantage kung meron din yung iba. Dapat ikaw lang merong ganun, no? Ay, certified ka, yung iba na may hindi. So, advantage mo yun, no? You have acquired yung mga technologies well advanced than any other companies. Well, that's a competitive advantage in your part. So any resource a firm possesses that rival firms desire, sana meron ako nun, ikaw lang meron, that's a competitive advantage, no? A firm must strive to achieve sustained competitive advantage. So it must be sustainable. Kasi pag nakuha na yan ng iba, hindi na yan iyong competitive advantage, no? Strategies are individuals most responsible for the success or failure of an organization. So they help an organization gather, analyze, and organize information. So you will become a strategist later, no? So here you are not a student or a marketer or a human resource development management student, but you will act like strategists, like consultants, no? So we have the vision and mission statements. A vision statement answers the question, what do we want to become? So in other context, this is what we call the vision statement is an almost impossible dream. no? Mangarap ka na nga lang ay laki-lakihan mo na, no? Vision. What do we want to become, no? Just like in Cavite State University, our vision is to become globally competitive, no? Morally upright individuals, no? So that's what we want to achieve. A mission statement answers the question, what is our business? No? Ano bang meron tayo? Ano ba yung minamarket natin? No? And what do we stand for? Okay. So also we have external opportunities and threats. These are the economic, social, cultural, demographic, environmental, political, legal, governmental, technological, and competitive trends and events that could significantly benefit or harm an organization. No? So external opportunities, you must remember the word external ay wala ka ritong hold. No? Nangyayari siya nang hindi mo inaasahan. Economic. The way we are suffering right now economically, no, due to pandemic. Socials, the social opportunities and threats, the change of fads, no? The change of consumer taste, no? Ngayon ay uso, maya-maya hindi na, no? Cultural, well, nagbabago yan, no? Sa saang bansa, you can have Jollibee here in the Philippines, but of course you will change products when you go to Middle East because of their cultural demographic, the cultural ano nila ng isang bansa nila, no? You have to adjust. Demographic, of course, ano ba yung katangian, no? When you say the age, the sex, no, all these income brackets, no, you have to know all of these things because not everyone has the same taste, no? It varies. So, iba yung likes ng mga kabataan ngayon sa kabataan dati. So you have to, if you market products and services, you have to know the demographics, the demographic condition of that particular place, no? In order for you to learn, okay ba tong product na to? Patok ba to, no? Environmental, governmental, these are legal. When you say legal, these are the laws, no, that the government imposes, yung mga RA na yan, no, Republic Act, yung mga sa inaano ng mga LGU, no, ini-impose nila na mga ordinances, no. So these are legal, no, governmental, yung mga ini-impose na taxes and all, no. Also with our economic, the inflation rate, pagtaas ng mga presyo, deflation, yung ano ng import-export, so lahat yan tinitignan natin, no? Competitive trends, how is it going, no? Ngayon, when you view a particular industry, no? Paano ang kanilang competition? Mataas ba? No, weak ba? How is their market structure, no? So tinitignan niyan lahat. Events that could significantly benefit or harm an organization, no? Putok ng bulkan, yan. Ano pa? Yung mga earthquakes, the calamities, everything, no? Kahit pagkalugi ng mga competitors mo, that will be strength or a threat for you, no? So anything, no, anything that could benefit or harm an organization, external, no? These are external. Wala kang hawak dito no? Hindi mo siya hawak. So unlike the internal strength and internal weaknesses, an organization is controllable, no? The external opportunities is non-controllable. You can do something about it, no? Activities that are performed, especially well or poorly, and determined relative to competitors. So here, the internal strengths, ano yung mga controllable activities mo? So we will learn one by one, no? Ano ba itong mga indicators nakasali dito sa internal strengths, no? So some opportunities and threats, you have availability of capital can no longer be taken for granted. So malaki yung capital na kailangan. Kung marami kang pera, you have the 5 M's of business: men, material, method. Remember that one, no? Yung moment, ganun, no? Yan, capital. Consumers expect green operations and products. We have the green operations now, no? You're using the, when you say green operations, it has something to do with care for environment, no? So wala na ngayon yung mga plastic. So tinitingnan na ngayon yung mga recyclable materials. So they are minimizing the environmental footprints in all our products, packaging, ganun din, no? And also we have that trend nowadays, no? And marketing is moving rapidly to the internet. So everything now ay halos na sa internet na, no? Lalo na lang ngayon, nagka-pandemic. Well, we are very dependent sa internet, sa ating mga media platforms natin, no? Commodity food prices are increasing. So it may be an opportunity to some and a threat to many, no? Sa mga business people, sa mga nagnenegosyo, if food prices are increasing, well, pinapatong lang naman nila yan, ano? And it's a spiral really. Hanggat may bumibili at nagpapatronize sa products and services, well, it will continue to go up, no? So supply and demand lang yan. So an oversupply of oil is driving oil and gas price down. Oversupply, no? Nung nagka-pandemic, halos pamigay ang crudo, no? Ang mura kasi wala namang sasakyan, no? It's the irony of life. So pwede nga lang mag-imbak ka eh. Kaso, di ka makakalayas, no? So nung nagbalik na unti-unti ang economy, well, bumalik na ulit sa dati yung pagmahal ng oil, okay? Long-term objectives, these specific results that an organization seek to achieve in pursuing its basic mission. Long-term means more than 1 year. Should be challenging, measurable, consistent, reasonable, and clear. So, short-term lang yan pag more than a year. Meron nga mga medium term, no? 5 to 10 years, mga ganun. Pag sinabi mong long-term, this would be as 20 to 30 years, gano'n, no? Long-term objectives, tinitignan yan, no? Strategies, by means of which long-term objectives will be achieved. Many may include geographic expansion, no? Diversification, acquisition, product development, market penetration, either be retrenchment, divestiture, liquidation, and joint ventures. So, para maisip mo itong mga bagay na to, no, dapat mayroon kang industry forecast, market forecast, no, company na forecast in the next 10 to 15 years, 20 to 30 years from now, no, para masabi mo na nandito na kami. Ngayon, Pilipinas kami. In the next 20 years, we will be going offshore. Ganon, no? Geographic expansion. Or, okay, in the next 20 years, ay gusto naming mag-diversify na yung aming products and services, no? If we are into food industry, we go sa mga ibang negosyo, no? So, pwede silang mag-diversify, no, into real estate, no, something like that, no. Just like what San Miguel Group of Companies did, no. Ang San Miguel, ang kanilang mga products dati ay sa mga ano lang, no, beverages, yung alcoholic drinks. And then they diversified into the non-alcoholic drinks like coffee and yung flavored water, and then they go real estate, yung mga condotels, something like that, no, real estate, so they have that. Okay. Some businesses may have their liquidation, wala na, ano na yan, sarado na, no? Ayawan na. Market penetration, they will just have to penetrate the market by means of building more franchise, mga ganun, no? And introducing their stores to other places, nearby places in the same country, parang ganun lang, no? Then annual objectives, short-term milestones that organizations must achieve to reach long-term objectives. So these are short-term, 1 year. So anong gagawin mo? So kami, we have that, no? Every semester. So anong gagawin mo for this semester? Kami din, if we have, for example sa akin, as yung aking designation as guidance facilitator, hinihingan kami ng ganito, no? Our short-term milestones that we need to achieve, no? And should be measurable, quantitative, challenging, realistic, consistent, and prioritized. So in other terms, this is what we call SMART, no? Yung ano natin, this should be measurable and attainable, no? And realistic and time-bound, no? And should be established at the corporate, divisional, and functional levels in a large organizations. Okay, policies, the means by which annual objectives will be achieved. So, mga policies, polisiya, what will be the, how it's going to happen, no? The strategic management model, where are we now? It answers, or it asks the question, where are we now? Where do we want to go? And how are we going to get there? So itong tatlong ito, no? So this is the comprehensive strategic management model. No, it starts in developing the mission and the statements, vision and mission statements. Mauuna ha ang vision kaysa sa mission. So it must not be interchanged. Vision muna bago mission. And after that, you have to establish long-term objectives, no? Generate and evaluate, select strategies, and implement strategies and management issues. And after which, you have to implement strategies in the different fields, no? The marketing, finance, accounting, R&D, kung ano man yan, no? And measure and evaluate performance. As you see here, no? Whatever you do in here, you always go back to your mission and vision. Lahat ba ng ginagawa ninyo ay naaayon doon sa inyong mission and vision statement? If we go accreditation, lagyan tayo mga accreditation, di ba? Naglalagay tayo doon ng vision and mission statement natin. Nandoon yun sa unahan eh. PMGO yan. Nandun yan sa unahan, ano? Tinitignan yan ng mga accreditor. Sini-check nila yung outcomes niyan. Halimbawa, doon sa dulo ng ating vision statement, we want to be globally competitive, no? And isa sa mga mission statement natin ay maging ano tayo, no? Excellent in the field of sciences, the field of business. Titignan, okay, nasan bang excellence niyo dito? Paano niyo mapapatunayan na excellent kayo? Anong pruweba niyo? O ito po, marami nakapasa sa amin ng board exam, yung aming mga CPA po, nag-excel po sila. Yung aming mga estudyante ay pag nilalaban sila sa ibang schools, ay sila po ay nagiging champion. Ang amin pong mga instructors po ay hindi lang masters, PhD level, and marami na rin po kami graduate na mga doktor. Yan, no? And marami po kami researches, publications. Yan po ang aming sa excellence. And kami ay level 4 po ang school namin. Ang aming college ay level 4. Okay, check. No? Pero pag hindi, wala. Olats, no? Hindi nyo nakuha yung niyo dito ng pang level 4 kasi unang-una ay hindi kayo excellent in this field. Meron yung scores, dapat hindi ka bababa ng 4. Pag you want level 4, no? Hindi ka bababa ng score na 4. 4 or 5 lang dapat ang score mo dyan, no? So pag nag-3 ka dyan ay wala, ligwak, no? Okay, so benefits of strategic management. Strategic management allows an organization to be more proactive than reactive in shaping its own future. Remember this word, proactive and reactive? When you say reactive, nag-ano ka lang ng solusyon pag may problema na, no? Pag may manhole dyan, ay walang mag-iintindi niya, no? Daan-daan na lang yun dyan. Pag may lumusot dyan at nahulog dyan, sabihin, ay, naku, tabunan niyang manhole na yan at delikado. But when you say proactive, before a problem happens, ay meron ka ng solusyon. Uy, may manhole. Uy, tabunan niyo yan. Baka may ma-shoot dyan. Nakaw, makakasakit. That's proactive, no? Advanced thinking before a problem happens. And it allows an organization to initiate and influence rather than just respond to activities, and thus to exert control over its own destiny. So that's strategic management. You're leading the way, no? And you have advanced na mga pag-iisip, no? There's what you call formulation of strategies, no? And the benefits to a firm that does strategic planning. There's enhanced communication, there's dialogue and participation between the stakeholders, kung sino man yung involved. Deeper improved understanding of others' views of what the firm is doing or planning and why. And greater commitment to achieve objectives, to implement strategies, to work hard. And we have the end results that all managers and employees on a mission to help the firm succeed. Financial benefits of doing a strategic planning. Businesses using strategic management concepts show significant improvement in sales, profitability, and productivity compared to firms without systematic planning activities. Of course, no? You are cutting with the waste management, no? Maraming sayang na oras, maraming sayang na mga ng businesses, yung materials, no? Because of poor planning, no? Redundant ng mga trabaho. So everything na hindi maganda ang sistema ay nag-generate yan ng cost. Tumataas yung cost mo. So syempre, liliit ngayon yung ng company, yung kanyang margin, no? High performance firms tend to do systematic planning to prepare for future fluctuations in their external and internal environments. Of course, no? Nag-change naman talaga no? Mataas ang presyo, nag-iiba minsan ng landscape ng negosyo. Okay ngayon, bukas makalawa hindi. So, pag meron kang strategic planning, at least, no, prepared ka sa mga ganitong bagay. Enhanced awareness of external threats. These are non-financial benefits because pino-foresee mo yan when you're doing the SWOT, the TOS, or whatever yung mo, is you enhance awareness of the external threats, no? You are aware, okay, in the next 10 years, may ganitong pangyayari, or taxes will eventually, because of these new policies, the bill being doon sa Congress, halimbawa may mga nabinbin na bill, no? So there are awareness of external threats. So parang sa education, they say by the year 2025, walang makakapagturo sa mga college level if not PhD holder, something like that, no? So dati nangyari na yan, no? Hindi ka makapagturo sa kolehiyo or hindi ka mape-permanent kung hindi ka master's graduate, master's holder. So ngayon, ina-implement na yan, no? So walang permanent instructor na hindi masters. Kailangan mag-masters ka muna para ma-permanent ka, no? And walang magtuturo halimbawa sa graduate studies pag hindi sila PhD holders. Ganon, no? So, improved understanding of competitor strategies. Of course, malalaman mo kung ano yung ginagawa ng iyong mga competitor, no? Increased employee productivity. Reduce resistance to change. Clearer understanding of performance reward relationships. So dito, mahalaga to, understanding of competitor strategies. That's just like Sun Tzu's Art of War, no? Know your enemy and know yourself. And in 100 battles, you will never be defeated. No, sabi nga dito, when you are ignorant of the enemy, but know yourself, your chances of winning or losing are equal. If ignorant both of your enemy and of yourself, you are sure to be defeated in every battle. The Sun Tzu's Art of War. No? Why some firms do not do strategic planning? First is no formal training in strategic management. Of course, di naman lahat kasi ay into business, no? Nag-aral sa mga business schools. So they don't know about strategic management. No understanding or appreciation for the benefits of planning. So wala, just a waste of time lang yung pagpaplano, no? Wala silang no monetary rewards for doing planning. Of course, matagal magplano, no? Hindi ka naman yayaman sa pagpaplano eh. But of course, it will help you. Pero yung iba, wala, hindi nila ito ginagawa, no? No punishment for not planning. Pag hindi ka magpa-plan na, wala mang, okay lang, sige lang, no? Too busy firefighting, resolving internal crisis to plan ahead. Say firefighting, kagawa ka ng solusyon para dito, anuhin mo yung tapal-tapal system lang, no? Firefighting. Di naman talaga na yung problema, na re-resolve yung problema. So view planning as a waste of time since no product or service is made. So parang kapatid to nitong no monetary rewards for doing planning, no? Kasi ina-associate that there's no money matters or what you call monetary rewards for doing a planning. So magkapatid tong dalawang to. Then you have laziness. Effective planning takes time and effort. Time is money, no? Content with current success. Ito, pag nagiging kontento ko talaga sa buhay, no? Nagiging ka sa iyong comfort zone, okay na to, nakita naman ayos naman yan, ayos lang yan, no? Failure to realize that success today is no guarantee for success tomorrow. Tignan mo, no? So look at the big companies that are closing down. Forever 21 is not forever here in the Philippines. They're closing down, no? Apple, Motorola, marami yan, no? Shaky yung kanilang mga no? And do not be contented. No? Even sa buhay natin, no? Hindi naman din masama na tayo mangarap, no? But being contented in your situation, okay na, mahirap naman akong pinanganak eh. Mahirap na rin ako mamamatay, ganun. No? So ganun na lang, no? Hindi ka na umalis dun sa pinanggalingan mo, dun sa nakasanayan mo kasi takot ka or okay na sa'yo. Okay na sa'yo ganun, no? Okay lang. Okay lang, tres, anin yung sobra, no? Okay na ako ganito, pasway-sway lang. At least hindi naman pagod, no? Ganun yung mga nila. Okay, overconfident, kaya yan, no? Malakas kami, malaki kami. Kaya hindi natin kailangan strategic planning. Okay. Prior bad experience with strategic planning done sometime or somewhere. Ayan, nagpaano ka, gawa-gawa ka ng yun namang ginawa mong strategist or consultant ay hindi naman talaga expert, no? Pinirahan ka lang, wala din nangyari dun sa company mo. So next time around ay hindi ka na naniniwala dyan kasi you have a bad experience, prior bad experience. Pitfalls, using strategic planning to gain control over decisions and resources. You should not. No? Doing strategic planning only to satisfy accreditation or regulatory requirements. Ito tayo minsan naglilinis lang pag may bisita. No? Hindi kang maayos lang pag mayroong accreditor. Yan. So dapat ito kasi consistent yan. No? Too hastily moving from mission development to strategy formulation. So ito pa yung hilaw pa jump ka agad doon, no? Failure to communicate the plan to employees who continue working in the dark. Ito pa. Ang mga nakakaalam lang yung mga head, tinatago yung information doon sa kanilang mga subordinates. So ang nangyari, wala ding alam yung mga nasa baba. Di kagulo pa rin, no? Yung mga head lang ang nakakaalam. So sila lang din ang sasakit ng ulo. No? Sila na rin ang mag-solve dyan kasi sila naman din nakakaalam. Top managers making many intuitive decisions that conflict with the formal plan. Masyadong intuition, wala namang basihan. Kaya dito sa strategic planning natin sa STRAMA, bawal chismis, dapat may basihan. Pag nagawa ka ng SWOT analysis, di pwedeng narinig mo lang, pakiramdam mo, hindi pwede. No? Top managers not actively supporting the strategic planning process. Ito. Ang strategies, pag nagpa-consult ka, kailangan ay marunong kang makinig dun sa consultant mo. Ngayon, kung yung ibig mo pa ang gagawin, huwag ka na magpa-consult. No? Gagawa ka ng hindi naman ginagawa yan ng ng mga subordinates. Ang gumagawa nito dapat yung nasa top management. Ikakastid lang nila pababa dun sa kanilang mga subordinates, no? Or mag-hire sila ng consultants, they will listen to the consultants na kung ano yung kanyang recommendation. Ngayon, pwede nila gagawin, wow, nag-hire pa kayo, no? Wag na lang mag-hire, di naman pala makikinig, no? Okay, failing to use plans as a standard for measuring performance. Ano bang plano mo? May plano nga, wala ka namang standard, no? Wala kang measure. There should always be a measure. You can't manage if you can't measure. You can't measure if you can't manage, no? So, how to gain and sustain competitive advantage? First is you have to establish a clear vision and mission. Dito talaga yan magsisimula, oh. And then formulate strategies, collect, analyze, and prioritize data using matrices, yung IFE, FECPM. So, madami yan, 13 strategies yan. No? How I wish na maituro ko sa inyo kahit kalahati. No? Clear strategic plan. Implement strategies, establish structure, allocate resources, motivate and reward, attract customers, and then dito na sa evaluate and monitor the results. Paikot-ikot lang yan. No, hindi pwedeng maputol yan somewhere because you can't sustain. There's no sustainability pag may putol yan somewhere else. No? Comparing business and military strategy, a fundamental difference between military and business strategy is that business strategy is formulated, implemented, and evaluated with an assumption of competition, whereas military strategy is based on an assumption of conflict. Dito kasi there's competition, no? Conflict naman sa military. But ang pinagalingan talaga ng strategic management ay military tactics, no? Kaya nga ang ito yung Sun Tzu's Art of War. If you will read Sun Tzu's Art of War and Business, napakaganda niya, no? Kasi talaga, war and business are more alike sila, no? Kasi you have competitors. Dito naman sa kanila, may mga kalaban sila, no? Ano din sila. Tinitiktikan nila yung mga kalaban nila, anong galaw ng kalaban nila. Same with business, ganun din na binabantayan mo yung competitor mo kung ano nang ginagawa niya. Baka mamaya pinabagsak ka na, di mo pa alam, no? Meron na pa silang nilulutong mga advancement na makuha yung market share mo ay wala ka pang alam, no? So, yan ang ano ng military tactics over business also. Then, excerpts from Sun Tzu's The Art of War writings. Napakaganda nito, no? In the Lasal, before kami mag-go into strategic management, pinapabasa sa amin talaga ito, no? Buong libro ng Sun Tzu's Art of War. Tapos, dinidiscuss talaga to sa klase, no? Before going into strategic management, no? So, meron dito, war is a matter of vital importance to the state, a matter of life or death, the road either to survival or ruin. Hence, it is imperative that it be studied thoroughly. So yung kanina sinasabi ko, di ba? Know your enemy and know yourself. And in 100 battles, you will never be defeated. Sabi doon, no? Ulitin ko, when you are ignorant of the enemy, but know yourself, your chances of winning or losing are equal. Parehas lang. If ignorant both of your enemy and of yourself, you are sure to be defeated in every battle. So sa kanya, know your enemy, know yourself, know the environment, and know the terrain, and your victory will be complete. Skillful leaders do not let a strategy inhibit creative counter movement. So pag ikaw ay magaling na leader, hindi mo bibigyan ng kunting butas ang kalaban para ikaw ay masilipan or ikaw ay malusutan, no? Dapat saradong-sarado yan at hindi mo siya bibigyan ng bentahe. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng art, no? So that's are the excerpts of Sun Tzu's Art of War. So these are all about our lesson for today, the nature of strategic management. Okay. So I will end here. Okay, thank you so much for listening.